go. I believe that we are live now. It didn't it didn't do the countdown for me, but we should be live. So how are you all doing? We haven't got anyone here just yet, but we should start to fill up soon. So I will give it a few minutes, in which case I will say hi to everybody who is joining. Oh gosh, I'm having some internet connection problems. What's going on? How are you all doing? Let me know how the weather is in your country, as I always like to do. It is, I think it's sunny in England. It's like 20 degrees, but it's still a little bit grey. I don't know. It's kind of typical English grey weather, but hopefully it's warm. I'm kind of wearing my shirt like this and I'm wearing shorts. So I'm praying that it is warm out there. Oh, I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad. It's yeah. I mean, it's just a bit cloudy here, to be honest with you. But hopefully, it's warm. Let me just check. Actually, I can look. 1 second. Yeah, 21 degrees, but it's cloudy. So yeah, hopefully that improves. Yeah, it's nearly summer though. Nearly summer. Yeah. I hope that you've all had a great week and today about phrasal verbs. And I don't know if you all know what a phrasal verb is, but we're going to go straight into those in a few minutes and we'll be able to look through them. And we're going to look at some phrasal verbs to actually look at too. So, oh, lovely. I mean, I bet Italy is sunny. I've been to Italy a few times and I've never been there when it's not sunny. So I believe you. There we go. How are you all doing? Okay, I think that we have plenty of people today to get started, and we've kind of jumped straight in with plenty. Usually we have to wait a few minutes, but actually it's nice to have everyone here already. So let's go through. Oh gosh, I'm sorry guys if the connection is cutting out a little bit. That is because I think my Wi-Fi is playing up for some reason. But if there is any problems, just let me know and I can try and repeat anything that I previously said. So no worries about that. Hello, Estelle. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Let's get started, shall we? All right. Okay, so the top 20 phrasal verbs in English. So what is a phrasal verb? Can anyone put in the comments section what a phrasal verb is? I know it's a difficult thing to try and explain, but I think it will be a good thing to get you guys to do. So if you can tell me what you think a phrasal verb is. Estelle, I'm not sure if you have just said what a phrasal verb is. I don't speak French, so I can't tell you if that is correct or incorrect. But if you could try it in English, then maybe then I can help you there. But maybe someone else who speaks French can help her with that. My French at school was not nearly as good as that. I left school with only bonjour and au revoir. That's pretty much it. There we go. Yes, Sabrina, exactly. So it's you have a verb and then you add another particle to it that kind of changes the meaning. In some aspects, it changes the whole meaning of the verb, and in some others, it kind of just tweaks what it means. So maybe maybe in some aspect to let's have a look. So to get something is to receive something, but to get over something is to recover from something. You see how that's a completely different thing? Whereas to go means to go somewhere, to go from somewhere to somewhere. And actually what this means is to go on with what you're saying. So to go somewhere with what you're saying. So actually you can have some that mean something completely different and also some that mean the same thing, like that mean very similar things, but actually you could be a bit more specific with it. So that is exactly what a phrasal verb is. So yes, yeah, exactly, Sabrina. because you couldn't just say, so let's have a look at get over again. So the example here is, it took me weeks to get over the flu. You couldn't just say, it took me weeks to get the flu. That would mean something completely different. That would mean that you are actually receiving the flu yourself. But if you add over, you change the complete meaning of that verb, which is great, like it means that you can take one verb that you already know and just add a few things to it and change the meaning. So now you know another verb instantly. So let's go straight through them from the first one. It's a little, for some reason, it's a bit cold in my room. I'm gonna put my sleeves down because I'm feeling a little bit cold in here. I've had my window open and the dehumidifier on for a little bit of time. And I think that is why it's so cold and I'm kind of shivering, so I'm struggling to speak. Let me just do these up and then I'll be ready. All right, so number one, we have to look up. So as you can see here, we have the verb to look and then the particle up. So up in that sense. Whereas actually, you can use this in two different ways. You could tell someone to look up, which wouldn't be a phrasal verb. You're telling them to look, and then you're using the direction up. You're telling them which way to look. Whereas if you use it as a phrasal verb, you use it in a completely different context. You use it in a way of looking something up on the internet or in a book. You're looking for some pieces of information, and that is what looking something up is in terms of information. So you might say, whenever I come across a new word, I look it up in the dictionary. So you look through the dictionary for that word, and in that sense, you are looking it up. I'm looking that up in the dictionary. Exactly. So if anyone, just let me know if anyone misses any information through this live, and I can go back to anything, but I'm just going to go through them because they're quite simple to explain. But if you want anything explained again or any kind of specifics, I can do that. But yeah, you can look something up in the dictionary, you can look something up on the internet, anything that you can get information from, you can look it up. And I think this is a very kind of commonly used thing in universities, in schools, anywhere that you're going to look up some information. Or if someone says to you, oh, when did this happen? And you might say, oh, okay, I'll look it up. I'll look it up on the internet or something like this. Okay, let's move on to number two, which is to turn down. So to turn down is not to turn down, it is to refuse or reject something. So maybe someone's offered you a job and you've decided not to take that job, so you turn it down. So here's an example. He turned down the job offer because he was hoping for a better salary. He wanted a better salary, so he said no to the job. He turned it down. Hello, welcome. I can't see the name of whoever just put a comment in the chat, but welcome. Yes, so to turn down means to say no to something like a job or an offer of some kind. And that is how we use that one. Next up, we have number three, which is to bring up. So to bring up means to mention something, to bring up a topic, or to start to talk about something. So an example here would be, she brought up a good point during the meeting about increasing our marketing budget. So she's brought up some information, she's brought up a topic to talk about, and that topic is our marketing budget. And you could use this in many situations. You could say, I need to bring up something in the meeting that I have on Tuesday. I need to bring up that piece of information. And that is how we would use to bring up. I know that we are jumping from each one today because actually, as I said, there is kind of not a lot to say about each one. There is just the basic explanation of them. But as I said, I will explain any questions that you have, like Sabrina has just put. Can we use to turn down to say turn the TV down? Yes, you can. You can. But I mean, as you can see here, so look up to turn down the TV. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look up, remember, we had the two meanings. One was a phrasal verb, which is to look up something, and the other one was to actually look up. And it's the same thing here. To turn down, you can use as the phrasal verb to turn down the job offer. But then in kind of a funny way here with to turn down, to look up, I mean, with to turn down, we could use to turn down a job offer, which would be more of a phrasal verb. But then when we say to turn down the TV, what we would use, like what we quite often would say is turn down the volume on the TV. So it's less of a phrasal verb. So, I mean, we are using it as a phrasal verb technically, but it is actually putting down the volume. If you imagine that as almost a volume thermometer kind of thing, you're turning it down. So it's less of a phrasal verb, but in some aspects, yes, it is, because you're saying turn down the TV, which isn't a literal thing, you know? You can't turn the TV down. Next up, we have to bring, oh yeah, we've done bring up. Next, we have get over. So to get over from something means to recover from something, like an illness or something. So you get over the flu, you get over you get over anything that is difficult. So an example here would be despite the rain, the parade. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. It took me weeks to get over the flu. Exactly. So you have an ailment, you have an illness, you get over that thing when you get better. Number 5, we have go on. So go on means to continue or to proceed in something. So despite the rain, the parade went on as planned. As we should know, that went is the past tense for to go, even though they sound completely different. So we're using went here instead of goed, which doesn't exist. So despite the rain, the parade went on. It continued as planned. Which is the difference between carry on and go on, please? So we're carrying on doing this, and we go on. The parade went on. So yeah, it's pretty much the same, I would say. To go on would mean yes, exactly, the carry on shows. But carry on is more like you've kind of yeah, they're pretty much the same, because carry on, I'm thinking, is more like when you've started something and you've kind of momentarily stopped it, and you might say to someone, carry on or keep going, and you could use both interchangeably. And as I said, it's pretty much the same thing. So thank you for your question, Estelle, and I hope that helped. So if you have been in our lives before or watched our videos before, one second, you'll know that we enjoy discussing our red words. And what are these red words, you might ask? The red words are words in which they are and keep on. Maybe I just haven't seen that one. I know that there used to be carry on TV shows back in like a very long time ago, but keep on, maybe I'll have to have a look. But yes, yeah, we have our red words here, and what these red words are words that are quite easily mistaken when speaking English. And they are good ones for us to practice, because the more that we practice them, the better our pronunciation, our vocabulary, and everything to do with our English speaking will get. And yeah, so it's good for us to look through these, and how we do them is I say them, then you say them, then I say them again, and then you say them again. And I will explain any kind of pronunciations, any stresses, and things like this as we go. And there we go. So and keep on. So keep on going to the. We wouldn't say keep on in that sense. We would say keep on juggling. So if someone's doing something, okay, so the difference is for keep on and go on is go on means that someone has stopped doing something and you want to tell them to go to start again and and start again there. Whereas to keep on means that someone is doing something still and you want to tell them to keep on doing that. They haven't stopped. Go on means they've stopped and you want to tell them to start again. Keep on means they're already doing it and you want to tell them to not stop. So let's look at our red words. Number one, we have across. Across. And actually, the red one here says come across. Come across. Keep on repeating and try and get the tones that I'm saying because I naturally, because I'm a native English speaker, I naturally use the correct intonation, the correct stresses and things like this. So it's very good for you to try and mimic how I say these things, even though it might sound silly when you're speaking, but actually it's one of the best ways of if you want to gain an a British English accent or just pronounce things correctly, it's a very, very good way of doing that. Next up, we have word. Word. Dictionary. Dictionary. Very good. Down. Keep on repeating. Job offer. Job offer. Good. Because. Because. Salary. Salary. Good. Brought. Brought. Make sure with brought that you're getting the r sound in the middle, because without that, it is bought, which is buying something. Whereas if you bring something, you brought it in the past. Very good. And the next one is good. Meeting. Meeting. About. About. Notice here how we have the stress. So we have our mark here and like just before the B. And that shows us that we have our stress in the second syllable here because we have two syllables, about, and then we have the mark just before the B, which means that we have the about, not abbot, about. There we go, and that's the difference. Next, we have increasing. Increasing. Marketing budget. Marketing budget. Very good. Took. Took. Get over. Over. Flew. We have the two dots after the U, which means that it's a lengthened vowel sound. So it's oo instead of fl or fla, it's flew. Despite. Despite. Rain. Rain. Parade. Parade. All right, and that's those ones. So let's move on to the next slide, shall we? So we start off with take off here. So this means to begin to fly. So maybe you're flying an airplane, or maybe a bird takes off, maybe like something like this. So, or we use it as in someone's career, or something takes off, something becomes successful. You see, maybe she was working and it wasn't going that great. Then all of a sudden, it takes off and does really well. So an example here would be her career really took off after that groundbreaking project. So she did the project, and then after that, her career did really well. And there we go. So next we have put off. So to put something off means to delay in doing something. Is to you don't want to do it. You're procrastinating it. Is the correct word here. So to procrastinate means to not do something because you don't really want to do it. You see, when you should be doing it. So we've put off making a decision until we have more information. So they're putting off doing that. They're not doing it just yet until they have more information. Number 8, we have to run out of. So to run out of is to it means to use everything up. You no longer have it, so you've run out of it. So maybe you were making a coffee and you've run out of sugar. So you can't have sugar because you don't have it anymore. You've used it all up. Okay, exactly. This keeps on happening. I keep on saying something as an example, and then it keeps on being exactly the same as the example. So I ran out of sugar, so I can't bake a cake until I go to the store. So you have to get some more sugar because you no longer have any. Number 9, we have to look forward to. So to look forward to something means to be excited about something in the future. So you're looking forward. Actually, this is one that actually could have more of a literal meaning because you're looking forward. You're looking to the future for something, and in this sense, you're actually excited about that. You're excited about maybe you're looking forward to you're looking forward to work. You're looking forward to going to the. You're looking forward to going to the shops or something. You're looking forward to something. You're excited about that. So an example here is I am looking forward to the weekend so I can relax. So they're looking forward to that. They're excited about it. Hold on. So to wait, and we use this quite often on the phone. So can you hold on a moment while I check those figures? Or you might say to someone, I'm going to put you on hold. You use this also for the phone because you have the option on phones to put someone on hold, which means it puts them in like a waiting room for you. So yeah, we would say, oh, can you hold on a moment while I check those figures for you? Or you could even say, can you hold on a second to someone who is just there? It doesn't have to be on a phone. There we go. And here we go back to our red words. Remember, as we do these, to keep on repeating. I know it can seem a little bit boring sometimes when we're just reading through words, but actually this is a really, really helpful point. This is the point in which you remember the words that I'm teaching you, and actually you figure out how to pronounce them properly. So let's go. So career. Career. Really. Really. Good. Took. Took. Groundbreaking. Groundbreaking. Very good. Project. Project. Very good. Put off. Off. make sure to end with that sound. Put off. Making. Decision. You see, it's not decision or anything like too crazy there. It's literally just a quick decision. There we go. Information. Good. Sugar. So. Very similar word here. Cake. Keep on repeating, guys. Keep repeating. The more you repeat, the better you will be. Next, we have go. Go. Store. Store. Looking forward. Looking forward. Relax. Relax. Hold. Moment. Moment. Very good. Very, 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 very good. So there we head into our next half of the video here. And number 11, we have to break down. So we use breakdown when we want to say that a vehicle or something has stopped working, to stop functioning mechanically. So an example here would be my car broke down on the way to work. It stopped working. And yeah, this is what we call it, a breakdown. We also have the phrase for a breakdown when a person kind of loses all control emotionally, and they start crying and things like this, and maybe they're in a very bad place. That we would call a breakdown when someone starts crying, they maybe get angry and things like this. It's a breakdown. Number 12, we have to figure out. Figure out. So to figure out something means to understand or find a solution for something. So an example here would be, it took me a while, but I finally figured out how to use the new software. So yeah, to find out how to do something, to figure it out. And that is what we would say. Next, we have to check out. So to investigate something or to look at something interesting. So you should check out the new bookshop on Main Street. You should look at that. You should check it out. Number 14, to come across, meaning to find or encounter something by chance. So I came across an old friend while walking in the park. So you've found that person there. You've encountered a person, and you've come across them. If you guys have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments. I am very happy to answer any questions, but if you don't, I can just keep going through them. And I've noticed I'm getting a bit of a pace here. So if you do have any questions, let me know. So yeah, to find someone or to encounter someone. Quite often when you say you came across someone, you're not saying that you planned on meeting them. It's something that just happened coincidentally. Next we have number 15, which is to pick up. So to Pick up something means to learn something gradually, without formal lessons. So you might say she picked up Spanish when she lived in Spain for a year. She didn't formally learn Spanish, but she picked it up through living there. What's the difference between come across and run into? So I ran into, oh, that's a very, very good one, Sabrina. So I came across this person and I ran into this person. It's more like, so you came across and I ran into, they're pretty much the same thing again. So yeah, coming across means that you were kind of out and about and then you saw them and like, hey, how are you doing? And like you've come across that person. And then if you ran into that person, it kind of gives me a bit more of the vibe of you didn't stand to talk for too long in a way. You if I used this, it would be more of a we said hi and then we left. If you're running into someone, you gotta say hi, 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 and then you run. Maybe you're on a jog or something. Hey, hey, how's it going? And then you run off. But it's like not as literally as in running, but what I would use this for would be more of saying hi, kind of a quick hi to that person, you know. Whereas if you come across someone, I would say that is a bit more of a you might have a bit of a chat with that person. There we go. So if you have any more questions, let me know and I will be happy to answer them. Our red words are waiting for us. So let's have a look. Number one. Broke. Once again, we have that bruh sound in English. And I know it sounds a little bit silly when you just do it on its own, bruh. But we use this a lot. So broke. Instead of boke, which wouldn't be correct, we'd say broke. It's almost like a lip trill, like a brrr, like this. Broke. But with less. We would broke. We go broke. Exactly. We have down. While. How. Software. Should. Bookshop. Friend. Spanish. Keep repeating. Spain. Very good. And on to our last one, we have number 16, to fill out. So to fill out something like a form, a CV, a list, you are completing something. So anything that is like a table or something that includes boxes that you should write in. Oh, sorry guys, it was the water that I just ate. One sec. Let me just mute myself for a second. There we go. Okay, so yeah, to fill out something means that there are boxes that you should write in or type in, and you fill those out. So please fill out this application form and return it to the front desk. That is our example. Number 17, we have to call off something, and that means to cancel it. So they had to call off the meeting because the CEO was ill. So they had to cancel it, and that is to call off. Oh gosh, that was a loud sneeze. Thank goodness I caught it just before. So yeah, to call something off means to cancel it. Number 18 is to set up. So to set up means to arrange or establish something. So we need to set up a time for our next meeting. So yeah, to arrange something, you're establishing something. So set up a meeting, set up a party. I mean, you'd set up a party a lot less. Like setting up a party would mean that you're getting there and you're setting up all of the tables and maybe things like this. But you would use this a lot when it comes to meetings and things. So you're setting up a time for that meeting, or maybe you set up a time for the party. You're arranging something. Number 19, we have to come up with something. And this is to think of an idea or a plan for something. So an example would be he came up with a brilliant idea for the new marketing campaign. So he thought of a really good way of doing that. And that is what it means to come up with something. You're coming up with a good idea. Maybe you come up with a really, really good English sentence or a really, really good English question that you have to ask. You came up with that. And if someone says something, you might say, "Oh, did you come up with that yourself?" And that's a good way to ask someone if it was their work, if it was them who actually made that thing or came up with that, in other words. So that's a very, very good one to use. Next up, we have number 20, which is to turn up. So to arrive or appear at a place, often unexpectedly. So if you turn up at someone's house, they most of the time, I mean, if you're using this phrasal verb, they didn't know that you were going to be there. So you turned up without them knowing. So he turned up at the party at midnight and surprised everyone. No one knew that he was going to come there, and no one knew that he was going to be there. So they all were surprised when he got there and when he turned up. And yes, so that is how we would use turn up. And here's our last page of red words here. We have application. Application. Front. Make sure to get that fr sound. Front. Call off. Make sure to get that lengthened or sound, the two dots after the or, the a, the call off the meeting. There we go. Because. Because. CEO. Lengthened vowel sounds here. CEO. Very good. Meeting. Meeting. Came. Came. Brilliant. Brilliant. Practicing that br sound. As I said, we use it a lot in English. Next, we have idea. Idea. Fabulous. Marketing. Marketing. Great. Party. Party. Nearly there. Midnight. Midnight. And last but certainly not least, we have surprised. Surprised. Very good. So before we go, make sure to put in the comments any questions that you might have. But while you're putting those questions in there, I'm going to read through each phrasal verb that we have gone through. So we have look up. Look up. Turn down. Turn down. Bring up. Bring up. Get over. Get over. Go on. Go on. Take off. off, run out of, run out of, look forward to, forward to, hold on, hold on. Very good. Break down, break down, figure out, figure out, check out, check out, come across, come across, pick up, last page here, fill out, call off, set up, come up with, and turn up, Okay, so if you want to download all of the things that you have seen on the screen here, all of the things that I've been all of the slides that I've been using here, you can download them through the link in the description down below, and you can click that and download all of those and use them in your free time. And if you just want to go through all of them, practice them, you also get the red words here, which actually will help you with the pronunciation. And you can keep those in your own time to practice these words and these phrasal verbs. If you have joined halfway through or towards the end of this live, you can always go back to the beginning. And even if you've watched the whole thing already, you can watch it again. And that's the wonderful thing about this, because you can just keep watching it until you understand everything. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, or the comments now, so I can answer them, or in the comments so we can get to them as well on the video after we've actually finished this live. So can we say to fill in a form? Yes, you can. Yeah, so we fill in a form. I filled in the form. Yes, we definitely can use that. So I'll give about a minute to see if anyone has any extra questions. I'd be very happy to answer them. And then after that, I will go. And I hope that this has helped. I hope that you have learned some new words here. But yeah, no, I mean, phrasal verbs are very, very, very important to know. I mean, then don't stress if you don't know them, because that's the beauty of language learning. There are things that you don't know, and then after a while you learn them. But they're very, very valuable words to know, because you can enrich the things that you want to say by kind of adding them to your speech. Instead of just using normal verbs, you can then use the phrasal verbs as well. Christine, I'm glad that you had a good time, and I hope that it helped. So guys, I think that is a good place to end. If you have any extra questions, as I said, you can put them in the comments, and then we will get back to those as well. But I've been James. We've been ISpeakSpokeSpoken, and joyfully